Good evening, everyone, from Poplarville, Mississippi. It's time for Region 7 4A high school football action as the Poplarville Hornets entertain the Sumrall Bobcats. I'm Kelly Sander. It's an honor for me to be able to give you the call of tonight's contest. When this game was originally scheduled, a lot of Sumrall folks circled this date thinking it would first place, that is, come down to this very game, that it would be an undisputed battle for first place in Region 7 4A, and then Lawrence County pulled that little stunt last week where the Bobcats were beaten at Lawrence County. So Sumrall, to try to avenge that loss, will try to come in here and do something that no other team has ever done, and that's beat the Hornets here on their home field. Coming into tonight's contest, when you look at the Region 7 4A standings, Poplarville and Lawrence County are both 2-0 in region play. Sumrall and Greene County right behind at 1-1. Purvis is 0-2. Forest County AHS 0-2. So the long and the short of this game is if Poplarville wins, the Hornets would go to 3-0. Sumrall would drop to 1-2. And the bottom line is that if the Bobcats drop this game, they would be looking at a 3 or a 4 seed, most likely, in the 4A state playoffs. Other games in Region 7 4A tonight include Purvis at Lawrence County. So Lamar Countyans certainly pulling for Purvis to pull off the upset at Lawrence County. Forest County tonight is entertaining Greene County, and we'd love to see the Aggies pull off that upset at home against Greene County. Toss has been conducted. The Bobcats won the toss and have deferred the choice to the second half, so the Hornets will receive. Poplarville will be in their old gold helmets with their forest green jerseys with white pants. The Rollcats will be in their white from head to toe, white helmets, white jerseys, and white pants. Big game for both of these teams, as again, if Sumrall is able to pull this one off, it would be like gaining 2 games back on the field, because few teams will be able to beat Poplarville, and every win or loss so important now because only 2 games left in the regular season. Sumrall will return home to begin a 2-game homestand to round out the regular season. Homecoming next week on the campus at Sumrall, and the Bobcats will entertain the Forest County AHS Aggies, and then senior night will be the following Friday when they'll be at Lions Field in Sumrall against Greene County, and that will determine a lot in the playoff seedings. But again, if Sumrall is beaten tonight by Poplarville, realistically, the best the Bobcats could hope for is a 3 or a 4 seed. Both teams making their way to their respective side of the field. I want to thank Caleb Hamill for filling in for me last week. I had some business to tend to up in Nashville. But a huge crowd on hand here tonight. The tailgating tents went up early this afternoon here in Poplarville, anticipating the arrival of the Bobcats, knowing how big this game is going to be. On the injury report, the big running back for Poplarville, one of their big 3, Chase Shears, the 5'10", 195-pound junior, he is out tonight, having some health issues. He will not play. But other than that, both rosters remarkably healthy considering you're this deep into the schedule. So Sumrall will kick it away, and then it'll be time for our Sumrall roll call, where you'll be able to check in from across the country or across the world. Wherever you're watching the game from, make sure you text us at 601-310-7077. We'll give you a shout out. Let us know if there's a particular player that you want to salute tonight. As Bobcat Nation getting ready to go here. Bryson Smith ready to tee it up and boot it away. He does, and it's a squibber to the far side of the field. They don't want to give the Hornets much opportunity to run it back. And lassoed at about the 37-yard line is Trey Wilson on the return for Poplarville. So 1st and 10 for the Hornets. They have been very difficult to stop, but run a wing tee offense and pretty much tell you what's coming and dare you to stop it.
Good thing is it's not much different from last week. Lawrence County running the wing tee.
But it's just a matter of being able to stop it. But talking with Shannon White prior to the game tonight, he said that Sumrall's lines, both offensively and defensively, are as strong as they've ever been. And it's to be able to contain this team. So here comes the spread to the far side. Not much running room there for Tyson Holston. He's one of the running backs, and the ball came loose, but he was tackled on the play. After a loss, maybe, we'll say where they spotted on forward progress. He certainly didn't gain anything. Nigel Coleman on the stop for the Rollcats. It'll be 2nd down and 10, just underway tonight from a slam-packed Poplarville. Pop Vegas. Pearl River Community College located here. Pearl River on the road tomorrow against Southwest. That's a 5 o'clock start over in Summit. 2nd down and 10. Hornets run it straight at you. Again, they try the near side. This time there is running room. And pushed out of bounds. Ethan Taylor, he's their other man in motion there. He's the other one of the big three. Plenty of yardage there as he runs out of bounds, but it's a 1st down for Poplarville at the Sumrall 45-yard line. Cole Daniels, Nick Eccles, Justice Hanberry, and Solomon Landrum across the defensive front for Sumrall. Devin Gouldsby lined up as a defensive end tonight. So stacking the box, knowing pretty much that the Hornets will run it in these first series. Dive play over at left tackle. That time it's Corey Knight, the junior fullback. Picks up about 4 on the play. So it'll be 2nd down. The Hornets will line up in a shotgun every once in a while. Their offensive coordinator, Micah Hickman, came in here from a high school in Slidell, Louisiana. So about the 3rd series or so, you might see the Hornets go into a shotgun formation and try to throw it a little bit. 2nd down, call it 6. The man of controls is Antonio Haynes. Hands it off, cuts it back to the middle, and that is Taylor again. And it looks like he got 1st down yardage to the 35-yard line. That'll move the chains. For Sumrall tonight, Darius Fairman is out. He's got a shoulder injury and a diagnostic procedure scheduled soon on that shoulder. So it is a 1st down for the Hornets. They are working from east to west here at Poplarville, or left to right. Again, Sumrall won the toss, and the Bobcats deferred to the 2nd half. Big game in District 7 4A. Both of these teams, you would think no matter how it shakes out, will be in the playoffs. It's just a matter of what seed. If you finish 1st or 2nd in the division, you get a home game in the 1st round of the playoffs. If you finish as a 3 or 4 seed, you're on the road in round 1. And as we mentioned at the top of the show, if Sumrall can't win this one tonight, then they're looking at a 3 or a 4 seed. It is a 1st down for the Hornets. Clock moving with 10:08 left to go here in the 1st quarter. As you see the last rays of sunshine going over the horizon to our right. 1st and 10. Hand off to the first man through, stacked up, and no running room at all there for Corey Knight. He might have stumbled his way forward for a yard or 2, but not much more than that. Watching in Destin, Florida tonight, Solomon Landrum's aunt is watching. Susan Landrum, our prayers to you guys down there in Destin, hoping that the storm was only a bump in the road. Mama Duck in Kennedy, Texas is giving a shout out to the Quack Attack tonight. He's playing defense. So they try to cut it back inside, but Ethan Taylor is stacked up. No running room there as Solomon Landrum dropped him, so no gain. It'll be 3rd down and 8 coming up for the Hornets with 9:01 left to go in the 1st quarter. This is the first possession of the night for either team. Again, if you'd like to get in on the action, give us a text at 601-310-7077. Big 3rd down play coming up, the first stern test for the Sumrall defense. On 3rd down, they will keep it on the ground, cutting it back inside. Tyson Holston does not get enough for the 1st down, might be about 2 yards short. It was a pretty good run. He was stopped on the play there by James Ford, so it brings up a 4th down and about 3 where they spot it.
Dallas Tucker watching in Savannah, Georgia, and Mason Hudson watching in Sumrall.
Savannah, Georgia, a very pretty place along the Atlantic coast of Georgia. Big 4th down play. First, they will try to get the Bobcats to jump off sides, and now the Hornets call a timeout. So they'll go to the sidelines, and Poplarville getting very close to the Sumrall Lawn Care red zone. Though fall is football season, the pros at Sumrall Lawn Service are busy every season, whether it's mowing, edging, tree trimming, or bush hogging. Richie and Jim Sumrall have over 20 years of experience making your lawn be something you can be proud of. Like the Bobcats on the field, Sumrall Lawn Care knows what it takes to win and how to make your home landscape a winner. Sumrall Lawn Care, sponsors of the Bobcat Red Zone. But this time it's the Hornets that are nearing the red zone. But a big 4th down play coming up. It's really too far for a good field goal chance at the high school level. At college or pros, this would be a chip shot, but on the high school level, it would be a long kick and too close to really kind of pooch kick it down there. So with this powerful Poplarville offense, they'll try to get it here on 4th down. Another stern test for the Sumrall defense. On 4th, handoff to the first man through, and getting inside the 25 down to the 23-yard line. That'll be enough for a 1st down. Ethan Taylor on the run for Poplarville. Coney on the stop for Sumrall. So the Hornets go for it on 4th down and convert. Again, it's a wing tee, but a very strong offensive line for Poplarville. Just grates its way down the field and lets those backs find a hole. Handoff again. Again, nothing surprising there, down to about the 20-yard line. A pickup of about 3 on the play. Ball carrier that time is Corey Knight. Justice Hanberry on the stop for Sumrall. They'll spot it at the 20-yard line. They've got to get to about the 15. Poplarville has had the ball the entire first quarter so far. Clock moving with 7:12 left to go in the first frame. Sumrall has yet to touch the football offensively. Split backs behind Barnes. Barnes hands it off over right tackle, stumbling inside the 20, down to about the 17-yard line. Again is Knight. Couple of yards short. So it'll be a 3rd down and about 2 upcoming. A game that has moved briskly because not one pass has been attempted so far. Everything has been on the ground. The Poplarville Hornets and Sumrall Bobcats battling in Region 7-4A. This has been a game the Sumrall guys have talked about a long time. 3rd down again, and enough yardage inside the 15, down to about the 13-yard line. Again is Corey Knight, the junior fullback. He's 5'7", 170 pounds, but he is tough to bring down, and that's another chain mover for the Hornets as they set up shop now. 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line of Sumrall. 6 minutes, 18 seconds left to go in this record-setting first quarter. Coach Shannon White said the guys had a good week of practice. Got to talk to some of the guys who also are very upbeat. Had a couple of days off at work. Now rolling is Barnes. He may want to throw this ball, or will he run it? He gets hit at the 10-yard line and is dropped. Cocroft on the tackle for Sumrall. Lost some yardage there. No, he did get a yard or so. 2nd down coming up. As we're now south of 6 minutes left to go in the first quarter. 5:35 left to go. This clock chugging first series for Sumrall. Now they go out of that shotgun that we talked about. Barnes fakes the handoff, wants to run it himself, and the Bobcats are all over him and drop him for a loss. Solomon Landrum in there again with the quack attack and drop him for a loss. not a major loss because he tried to surge forward, but did lose about 2, so it brings up a 3rd down and 10. And the Hornets, if they don't get it here, you would think would go for it again on 4th down, although this would be a much more reasonable field goal attempt, as the Hornets are inside the Sumrall Lawn Care red zone. 4 minutes, 48 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Again, Sumrall has yet to touch the football. 3rd down and 10. Barnes on the give and go. Right side, but being tripped up on the play is Corey Knight. He's been doing most of the heavy lifting for the Hornets on the ground. Picked up about 3 or 4. So again, 4th down and long here. So the fact that Sumrall has been on the field the entire time defensively, and the Hornets have burned up this much clock, this would be huge if the Bobcats could stop them here on 4th and about 7. Barnes out of the shotgun. Will roll it himself, cuts it inside, gets loose, and is into the end zone for a Poplarville touchdown. The linebackers had to freeze just long enough to see if he was going to pass it or hand it off. Not only did he not hand it off, he saw an opening up the middle, took it, and went into the end zone. So Poplarville shows how powerful that offense is. Ethan Spears on to try to collect the extra point here. Kick is up, and the kick is good. With 4 minutes, 5 seconds left to go in the first quarter, Sumrall trails Poplarville 7-0 and will get the football for the first time tonight in just a moment. Other games across the county, Oak Grove playing Terry tonight up in the Jackson area. We mentioned Purvis is at Lawrence County. We'll want to keep a very close eye on that game. And Lumberton, after being upended, taking on Sacred Heart tonight in a district contest. One of the spotlight games is in Columbia, where Columbia is hosting Jeff Davis County tonight. Bobcat Nation, get in on the Sumrall roll call at 601-310-7077. Lexi Broom, Bryson and Maddie Smith's family watching from Houston, Texas. And Raymond McRaney, one of our big fans in Marrero, Louisiana, watching, and he says, "Go Bobcats, go." Well, let's hope they can. This will be the first time they'll get the football tonight. Ready to kick it away. It's kind of a side spiral that's fielded by Cockcroft at the 5-yard line. Cuts it back to the left side, now up the middle, and gets doused at about the 23. So we'll see what the Rollcats can do now offensively as the Hornet defense comes out for the first time tonight. We want to thank our sponsors, State Farm Insurance Agent Stacy Clark Temple. She's sponsoring our trivia question in the second quarter. It deals with sports and sports leagues. So that's coming up in the second quarter. Dandy Dan's of Sumrall and Chevron. Dandy Dan's Chevron in Sumrall and Bellevue, that is. On the Grand Bank halftime show, we'll be talking with Pearl River Community College President Adam Breerwood, as the Hornets are giving a sideline warning. There's some painted off areas that the players are supposed to stay inside of, and if they don't, they get that flag thrown on them. This one is just a warning. If it happens again, then it will be a penalty involving yardage. But again, coming up at halftime, the Grand Bank halftime show. Pearl River Community College President Adam Breerwood will join us. Dennis Jackson and the Bobcats getting to work on 1st and 10. Jackson hands it off up the middle to Tyreek Preston, who gets across the 15 to about the 17-yard line. Pickup of 2 on the play. And the clock moving again with 3:45 left to go here in the first period. I'm telling you, when the schedule came out, the Bobcats were licking their chops at this one. They really were mentally ready for this one. 2nd down. Jackson again. Cockcroft again tries to get to the edge, and he is flung down with no gain on the play. Barnes on the tackle. John Paul Holmes watching from Lincoln County. Glad to have him along. D and Junior are watching from Sumrall tonight. Glad to have them along. And Raymond McGraney, as we mentioned, from Marrero, Louisiana. Third down play coming up for Sumrall. The clock moving with 2:50. Jackson hands it off. Up the middle again, but not near the yardage they needed. Cocroft on the run for Sumrall was about 5 yards short of a first down, so the punting unit checks in for Sumrall, and Payne Phillips is in to kick it away. Payne Phillips at about the 15-yard line. It's a good snap, and he gets this low liner away. Barrett is there. Hayden Barrett is there to kill it at about the 48-yard line. So a short field coming up here for the Hornets with 2:09 left to go in the first quarter. Poplarville leading at 7-0. Bobcats return home, as we mentioned, next Friday night for a homecoming game against the Forest County Aggies. Hattiesburg Clinic Children's Clinic, also one of our webcast sponsors. Dr. April Gilmore is a Sumrall High School graduate. She was April McGilvery back in the day. I say back in the day like she's old, and she's not at all. But she certainly wants to give a shout out to the Bobcats and saluting their success this season. Rolling is Barnes. Can't find anybody open, and he is tackled and dropped back at about the 45-yard line. And it looks like Solomon Landrum got a hand on him. Amanda Duck is in Shreveport, Louisiana. Shout out to the Quack Attack tonight. Carson's already been in on a couple of stops there. That was a loss of 3, bringing up a 2nd down and 13 for the Hornets. In their end of the field, the ball was officially spotted at the 49. Clock rolling with 1:34 left to go here in the first. 2nd down and 13. Barnes hands it off, cuts it right back up the middle. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage, and a whole host of Bobcats are there. Ashanti Cocroft is in there to make the stop, among others. Back to the original line of scrimmage, brings up a 3rd down and 10. On the handoff there to Tyson Holston. Kanan Ray checking into the game for Poplarville. His brother Chandler Ray was a star football player here, went on to play at Pearl River. Inside a minute left to go with 55 seconds left to go in the first quarter. 3rd down and 10. Barnes out of the shotgun this time. Fakes the handoff, now throws out into the flat. It's caught by Ray, but he runs out of room and Cocroft pushes him out. After a gain of maybe 2, it'll be 4th down and 8. And here's something you don't see very often. The Poplarville punting unit.
Good stop there by the defense. Need to get off the field since they've really been on the field the entire game.
And you have to wonder, too, Jeremy Thompson, with the effect that they've had running the ball. They've been so effective running the ball. You know, why try to pass?
Yeah.
But it is 4th down. Back to receive it. It's a thunderous boot that Dennis Jackson will track but then let go. Then picks it up on the run, which was probably ill-advised, but only gets up to about the 12-yard line. He had 2 Hornets flying right around him there. And rather than let it go, he picked it up and maybe got forward for a couple of yards. So Sumrall back to work here, trailing 7-0 in the waning seconds of the first quarter. 31 seconds left to go. Dennis Jackson, a quarterback, who was put in that situation after the injury to big-time Billy Garrity. And they have done remarkably well, considering Dennis by trade is a receiver. Barrett to the near side, the lion-hearted Hayden Barrett. Dennis, direct snap to him. He runs it himself to the far side of the field and gets forward for about 8. Looks like he was knocked out there by Kaysen Sones after a gain of about 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4. And I don't think we'll get another snap left. Another snap actually off before the end of the first quarter. So we are at the end of one here in Poplarville tonight. The Hornets 7. The Bobcats nothing. Back to action in just a moment. But as we head to the second quarter, a reminder that it's not just a home or a car. The 6 months you saved for your HD flat screen just in time for football season, or the overtime that you worked for that third car so that your team can drive themselves to school. While other insurance companies just see them as a bundle or a combo, State Farm agent Stacy Clark Temple sees your home and car as things you really work hard for. Stacy Clark Temple understands what your things really mean to you and is here to help you give them the protection they need. Talk to State Farm agent Stacy Clark Temple in Sumrall for your home and auto insurance today. Our trivia question, you can try to text in the answer if you'd like. You've got our number there at 601-310-7077. What professional sports league, and I'll give you a clue, what North American professional sports league has 2 teams in the league with the same mascot? Professional sports league, like the SEC has the Georgia Bulldogs and the Mississippi State Bulldogs, but that's not a professional league, although there are some that would argue that. But what professional sports league in North America has 2 teams with the same mascot? That's our State Farm trivia question. 2nd down and 4 for the Bobcats as they now work left to right or east to west here in Poplarville. Dennis Jackson looking to the sidelines. Shannon White, the head football coach for Sumrall, also calls the plays. Barrett in motion to the near side. They fake it to him, and Jackson runs right up the middle. Dennis Jackson weaving his way through traffic and gets up to the 35-yard line. That is enough for a first down. Not sure if Dennis was supposed to hand it off or not, but it was apparent that he saw an opening and took off up the middle for a big gain. That'll move the chains. The first down of the night for the Rawcats at the 36-yard line, 1st and 10. Daniels and Barnes on the stop for the Hornets on 1st down and 10 now. Tyreek Preston in the backfield for Jackson. He's got Zane Berry to the far side of the field. Zane Berry at 100% now, although he needs to wear that knee brace. Jackson tries to get outside. Turns the corner, moves his way upfield, evades a couple of tacklers, and then is escorted out of bounds by Kaysen Sones up near the 1st down. That one stumped you, Jeremy? What?
Yeah.
What North American professional sports team?
The sports team.
Sports league has 2 teams with the same mascot nickname. That is our State Farm trivia question. You can text us the answer 601-310-7077. Didn't get the first down. Officially a gain of about 8.5. 2nd down. Dennis Jackson hands it off to Tyreek Preston, but they were waiting for him. And he runs right into the arms of a couple of Hornets and is dropped for no gain on the play. It'll be a 3rd down and short. Upcoming for Sumrall. Making the tackle is Keziah Daniels, the junior quarterback. So 3rd down and about 1.5 yards. Big play coming up here for the Sumrall offense. Inside of 11 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. Dennis Jackson, everything strong left, goes left, gets the first down, streaks down the sideline. Dennis Jackson cuts it back inside and rambles all the way down to the 20-yard line. No flags on the play. That is a big gain and a big first down for the Rawcats. Great blocking. Everything was strong left. Extra personnel over to that side, and everybody just put a hat on somebody and paved the way for Dennis Jackson to find the holes and take off. And now we've got a sideline warning on Sumrall.
Which usually happens when you have one, you'll have another one on the opposite side.
To make it even, right? 10 minutes, 42 seconds left to go. Sumrall trying to come back and tie this football game in this huge clash with the Poplarville Hornets. 1st and 10, Jackson rolls to his right this time, fakes like he's going to run. He's got Zane Berry wide open in the end zone. That's a Bobcat touchdown. The key to that play was as Dennis Jackson was running to the near side of the field, he tucked the football away in his arm to give the Poplarville defense the appearance that he was going to run. And as soon as Zane Berry was open enough, he pulled it out of his arm, flung it to the end zone, and Zane corralled it for the touchdown. The extra point by Bryson Smith is up, and it's good. So with 10:27 left to go in the second quarter, the Bobcats have tied the mighty Hornets of Poplarville at 7. Sumrall's kickoff coming up in a moment. Boy, I thought for sure somebody would get this trivia question.
I have a feel it's any sport, so I feel like it's a basketball team, but I don't know.
It's not.
Okay.
Okay. What North American Sports League?
I don't know it.
Now, the fact that I say North American, I normally wouldn't say that. What North American Sports League has 2 mascots that are exactly the same, like the Georgia Bulldogs and Mississippi State Bulldogs?
Teams to get it.
We'll give you the answer here momentarily, but our trivia question brought to you by State Farm Insurance agent Stacy Clark Temple.
You'd have to give me the sport, probably.
Football.
Oh, it's football.
It is football.
Okay.
But it's a pro sports league.
Pro.
North American Pro Sports League. Johnny Manziel. Know where he's playing now?
The Browns. No, he's not at the Browns anymore. Where is he?
Bryson Smith to kick it away. Don't Google it.
I'm not going to Google it.
Bryson Smith kick goes to the near side, and that will wiggle its way out of bounds. So the Hornets will have a choice here and probably take it at the 35-yard line. The Quack Attack getting some more love from the 601 area code. They're watching in Lumberton. Kevin, a big Bobcat fan, and a big fan of the Quack Attack. So they are going to take it up the 35-yard line. The Hornets and the Bobcats tied at 7. Sumrall had nearly a perfect offensive series that time. The Canadian Football League is the correct answer. The Ottawa Rough Riders and the Saskatchewan Rough Riders.
Never had a chance to get it.
2 teams with the same nickname. Handoff, trying right side. And it's Ethan Taylor. Ethan Taylor on the carry, but he had a couple of Bobcats draped over him there to limit the damage. Ford and the Quack Attack were there on the tackle. Gain of about 3 brings up a 2nd down and 7 with 10 minutes even left to go here before halftime. Yeah, the Canadian Football League. And in fact, once Saskatchewan and Ottawa both called their teams the Rough Riders, the National Football League passed a rule that
you can only have one.
Correct. If a mascot is taken, you cannot have the same one. Handoff again. This time they try the left side. Cutting it back to the far side is Holston. Holston to the races down the sidelines. Goolsby won't get him, but caught from behind. Boy, Holston, and who caught him from behind for
30.
Sumrall?
30.
What a play. Coming from the secondary, Darren Coney, who a lot of people will argue can beat Dennis Jackson in a straight-out run. Coney caught him from behind. What a play, a big gain for the Hornets. They have it 1st and goal at the 7. Looks like a mix-up in the backfield on the handoff. Knight is stacked up and hit and dropped for a loss on the play. So going back to about the 10-yard line, but it is, well, they'll spot it forward progress at the 8. So 2nd and goal.
Yeah, Daniels was all over that play. He knew exactly where he was going.
Cole Daniels, his first tackle of the night officially. There will be plenty more where that came from, rest assured. 2nd down and goal from the 8. Hand off to the first man through.
Once again, number 22, Knight on the carry.
Maybe down to about the 6-yard line.
Ball's going to be marked on the 4-yard line.
Ethan Taylor on that carry. Checking into the contest is Kaysen Sones and Kanan Ray. Clock moving with 8:26 left to go in the second quarter, tied at 7, but the Hornets are inside the Sumrall Lawn Care red zone. 3rd and goal. Handoff and hit behind the line of scrimmage and then getting ahead for a yard or two, but the Bobcats were there. Nigel Coleman eventually wrapped up Sones. So 4th down and goal now. And it looks like the field goal unit is in. Ethan Spears doing the kicking out of the hold of Kyle Chambliss.
And I don't know if this type of game, fake field goal is not out of the question.
Spears is a lineman, and now we get a flag. Offsides on Sumrall. Now this may change their decision. Oh, wow, that's a self-inflicted wound there. That is just a mental mistake for Sumrall, because it'll move it all the way to the 3. But Coach Jay Beach looked like he was going to go for a field goal. Now they want to talk it over, which that certainly makes sense. Do they want to go for the touchdown now, just 3 yards out instead of 8 yards out? Boy, that is a tough play for Sumrall to give up that close to the end zone. The Bobcats know it's important to get a quick start, and so too your friends at Dandy Dan's Chevron in Bellevue. Whether it's their complete line of fresh, always hot coffees to Miss Betty's sausage and egg biscuits, Dandy Dan's in Bellevue has your quick start covered. For lunch, why don't you check out the special plate lunches each day at Dandy Dan's Chevron in Bellevue? The smiles are always warm and the drinks ice cold. Proud supporters of Sumrall football and all the local schools. Dandy Dan's in Bellevue on Highway 589 near the 98 interchange. 7:28 left to go here in the second quarter. It was going to be a field goal attempt of about 25 yards on a 4th and goal from the 8, but the offsides by the Rawcats moved it to the 3-yard line, and now the offense coming back out. Antonio Barnes at quarterback. He's got Corey Knight. They're stacked up to the right of him. 4th down and goal. You can't make mistakes against this Poplarville team. The defense, can it hold? Handoff and nothing doing. Knight is hit at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Solomon Landrum. On that end, they ran it right at him. It goes over on downs. A big defensive turnover by Sumrall, albeit on downs. But no points on the board for Poplarville on that drive. What a stop. That's the good news. The bad news is the Rawcats have got to go about 98 yards the other direction. Karen Thompson is watching tonight. Well, she's good with the emojis. She's got the colored hearts and everything else to go along with it. Go Bobcats with hearts that are blue and yellow. 1st and 10 with Dennis Jackson standing in the end zone with Tyreek Preston there. He gives it to Tyreek, who tries to bulldoze his way right up the middle and finds the sledding very hard there as he was stacked up by Mario Barnes. Maybe a gain of a yard as he tries to plunge forward. 2nd down and 9 with 7 minutes and 8 seconds left to go here before half. And again, coming up on the Grand Bank halftime show, our scheduled guest is the new president of Pearl River Community College, Adam Breerwood, whose son Blaze plays on this Poplarville team. 2nd down and 9. Jackson looking to the sidelines for the call with Preston split to his right. Jackson runs immediately to his right, cuts it back up, but can't get much more other than back to the line of scrimmage. Ross Barnett on the tackle for Poplarville. Ross Barnett of Poplarville is a state rodeo champion. And he won the state rodeo championship, I believe, as an 8th grader.
Wow.
So incredibly strong. And as you might guess from a bull rider and a champion cowboy, really strong hands. 3rd down and about 7. Will Sumrall go to the air here? They want to talk it over. And timeout is called on the field. We have not had the heat timeouts tonight.
I don't understand why we had them last week, but we did.
Because the MHSAA said when we get into October, those would go away, but you did have them last week at Lawrence County. Bobcats return home next Friday night for a homecoming tilt against Forest County. The Aggies.
Susan Landrum watching from Destin, Florida.
Yeah, we're hoping that things aren't too bad down there.
Yeah, says go Solomon.
Huey and Judy are watching from Sumrall. So Huey and Judy.
My grandparents.
Watching the game tonight. Glad to have them with us as well. We're going to try to get you some scores from other games around the area.
Justin Ogden watching from home in Sumrall.
That's not a bad little gig, getting to stay at home and watch the game in high definition.
Here's your question from Mason Hudson.
Oh, no, they don't ask us questions.
They're going to ask you a question.
No.
And I know the answer, and most people know the answer. Why do you call us the Raw Cats?
Raw Cats, the second half of Sumrall, which people affectionately will call Sumrall, the Raw y'all or whatever. And then if you're taking the second half of Sumrall, you might as well take the second half of the other name, the Bobcats. Thus, the Raw Cats. Oak Grove and Terry, no score. Forest County and Greene County, no score. As we check the Primerica Financial Services scoreboard, all of our scores brought to you by our friends at Primerica. On 3rd down, Dennis Jackson rolls to his right and then overthrows his intended receiver. Zane Berry was on the move and had his man beaten, but just overthrew him a little bit. So Sumrall will have to kick it away. Other scores on the Primerica scoreboard: Lumberton handling Sacred Heart 16-0. That is a second quarter score. Lumberton 16, Sacred Heart nothing. And in the second quarter in Monticello tonight, Lawrence County 14, Purvis 7. That is a second quarter score. Again, all of our scores brought to you by our friends at Primerica. Now Payne Phillips back with his feet by the baseline. No pressure. A low liner that takes a Sumrall bounce across the 40. Barrett is there to down it at the 42-yard line. So a short field again for Poplarville, but the Sumrall defense has been equal to the task. 7-7 ball game with 5 minutes, 49 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. It would be a monumental win for Sumrall, especially after losing to Monticello last week. A win here to Poplarville, a win against Poplarville would throw the entire division in a topsy-turvy type state, which you figured the seeds would all go down to the last week anyway. But now back to work is Barnes at quarterback. Hands it off, cuts it back up the middle to Taylor. Taylor ahead for about a gain of 5. The quack attack and Justice Hanberry in there on the stop for Sumrall. 2nd down and 5 upcoming with 5:33 left to go here in the second quarter. Glad that you're with us on our YouTube channel. You can always find us on social media at Sumrall Athletics. Pretty uniform name across the board, Sumrall Athletics. 2nd down and 5. Again, Barnes surveying the defense. They try the left side. Solomon Landrum on the tackle, did not get first down yardage as they handed it off to Knight. So they'll have to go 3rd and about 3 here to get the first down. A very, very quick first half. Clock moving with 4:45 or so left to go in the second quarter. Big 3rd down play here. Poplarville kind of in no man's land. You'd think it'd be 4-down territory either way. Barnes, they try the exact same play. Blocking scheme was better that time for Poplarville, and they got the first down. Kason Sones, who is a junior running back, got the stop there. So they move the chains, and Poplar has a fresh set of downs at the Sumrall 29-yard line. Bobcats looking to do something that nobody's done, and that's beat Poplarville here at home. 1st and 10. They'll try the right side this time, and finding some running room, and now darting to the outside is Ethan Taylor. You have to stay on these Hornets the entire way. You can't just wrap them up. You've got to take them all the way down. That's overstating the obvious, I know, but when you make contact with them 1 or 2 yards deep and then let them drag you some distance, that's certainly not what you want. First down and goal from the 7. Sumrall, looks like Nick Eccles was there to stack up the middle. Knight on the carry. No gain on the play as the Hornets are inside the Sumrall Lawn Care red zone. So second and goal at the 6. Remember, Poplarville was here in its last series. Was going to kick a field goal, then went for it on 4th down. The Wildcat defense kept them out of the end zone, and they got no points in that drive. Second down and goal from the 6. Trying the left side, cutting it back. That is Sones, and he is hit short of the goal line. Cocroft on the stop for Sumrall. It brings up a 3rd down and goal from about the 2. So they're bringing in some beef here. Chandler Norris, whose dad, Daniel Norris, I think played at North Forest, is in there now, as they bring in some extra blockers on a 3rd and goal from the 2. Quarterback keeper, and he's stacked up at the line. I don't think he got in. Antonio Barnes looked like he was going to skate, but the linebacking core for Sumrall came in and stopped him cold. No gain. It's 4th down and goal. Would they go again? Yeah, just outside the goal line.
Less than a football length.
So, of course, they're going to go for it. 2 minutes, 13 seconds left to go in the half. So timeout is called, and this time Chris Fortenberry, the defensive coordinator for Sumrall, wants to talk this over. The odds of keeping Poplarville out of the end zone are minuscule here, as close as that nose of that football is to the plane. Remember, all it has to do is crack the front plane. It doesn't have to go all the way over. Just has to touch that first part of paint or get over that first part of white paint, and it would constitute a touchdown. So they'll talk this one over. It will take a great test, will be a great test for the Sumrall defense. Checking the Primerica Financial Services scoreboard, Lumberton has extended its lead 23-0 over Sacred Heart. Lawrence County, unfortunately, has extended its lead over Purvis, 21-7. The Cougars over the Tornadoes. No score yet, Greene County and Forest County. Oak Grove and Terry also reporting no score. All of our scores brought to you by our friends at Primerica Financial Services. Here we go. 4th down and goal. Could it be another quarterback sneak by Barnes? It is, and I don't know if he got it or not. Oh, now they say he did. Very, very late with the hands going up, and the Bobcats, Darren Coney, didn't think he got in. Well, if he did, and of course, officials certainly have a better view of it than we do. If he got in, it wasn't by much, but it doesn't have to be by much, right? Boy, it really could not have been by much. So Spears on to try to add the extra point. Sumrall will not have a lot of time to work. The kick is up, and this kick is good. 2:05 is what Sumrall will have to work with. But remember, the Bobcats will get the football to begin the second half.
Chris White's watching from Tuscaloosa.
They have a football team up there, I hear.
Oh, yeah.
What's the name of that team?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's just going to make him mad when you don't admit that. Shout out to our friends at Hattiesburg Children's Clinic. They're committed to the care and well-being of your child from birth to adolescence. Children's Clinic is open daily and offers immunizations, monitors your child's growth and development, and treats a wide range of childhood illnesses. Give them a call at 261-3500 to schedule an appointment, or you can log on to hattiesburgclinic.com. Children's Clinic, care you need for the children you love. Hattiesburg Clinic, Children's Clinic, sponsors of the post-game show. Spears to boot it away. Sumrall would love to have a great return here. But it's a low number that is fielded at about the 18-yard line. Slipping and falling on the return for Sumrall is James Ford. But he got up to about the 30. They'll spot it at the 29 officially. And again, Bobcats will have 2 minutes even, left to work. If for nothing else, they'd like to get in Bryson Smith field goal range to cut this lead from 14-7 to 14 to whatever.
Should have at least one timeout if I remember right.
And a lot of them have been used here in the first half. Dennis Jackson on the direct snap. Dennis will run himself. Gets to the far side of the field, and he is flying across the 40-yard line and takes himself out of the play at about the 43-yard line. A couple of weeks ago, when Sumrall was at home, I asked Dennis about that. I said, Dennis, you're running yourself out of bounds. He said, look, I'm not stupid. I'm not going to put myself out there to just have guys get a free shot at me. He said, if you haven't seen, I'm not the stockiest guy out there. And in this situation, it's even better because the Bobcats need to stop the clock. 1:53 left to go in the half. Sumrall trails by 7. Jackson on the give and go to Tyreek Preston, and he has just found absolutely nothing. He got shoved backwards, maybe a loss on the play. The Hornets were there waiting on him. It looked like Chandler Norris was in there to make that stop. So they'll give him a 1-yard forward progress pickup. Clock moving with 1:25 left to go. Zane Berry has a touchdown reception tonight. He's got man-to-man coverage on the far side. Jackson out of the shotgun. Puts Barrett in motion. They fake it to Barrett, and he runs it himself. Dennis Jackson now to the near side. Gets out to the sideline. Dennis Jackson streaking down the field to the 20, the 10, and again takes himself out of play at about the 9-yard line. Sumrall High School art teacher Patricia Wolf says good luck to her students Zane, Solomon, Nick, Ashanti, and all the guys. We believe in you. Glad to have along Patricia Wolf. So a big play there for the Rawcats. They've got it inside the 10 at the 9-yard line, 1st and goal. Dennis Jackson with Tyreek Preston split to his left. The Poplarville fans on their feet here, trying to get a defensive stand. Poplarville could about ice the division championship with a win tonight. But a Sumrall win throws this thing wide open. Again, it's to Jackson. But this time, he can't even get to the 10-yard line, where he was hit by Ross Barnett. We talked about the pure strength of Ross Barnett. He made the tackle there. 2nd down. 42 seconds. The clock becomes paramount now. They cannot get another 1st down. Of course, there's not a lot of time anyway. 2nd and goal from the 11. They're already in field goal range. Jackson puts Barrett in motion. They give it to Barrett. Barrett tries to get out there, and he is wrapped up and dropped by Blaze Breerwood. But a penalty marker is down there at about the 12. Did Breerwood get him by a horse collar or a face mask? I don't know if that's the call either way, but that's actually a
false start.
False start. That should have been they shouldn't even allow that play to go. Yeah. No disrespect at all to Blaze Breerwood, but I saw the flag come down when the tackle was made, so you assume that something happened on that far side of the field. They are watching in Pea Ridge, Arkansas. I think that's the first time we've ever had a viewer in Pea Ridge, Arkansas. Tate Davis has got some kin up that way or friends up that way.
So even illegal motion's a dead ball, isn't it?
That's what I thought.
So either one should have been dead ball.
Now Poplarville calls a timeout. Wow, if you give these teams 10 timeouts, they'd use them all. This is just the first half. 24 seconds left to go.
But you got to think about it, we haven't even played an hour yet.
That
7:50.
Well, that
first half.
That first drive that the Hornets had chewed up about 8 minutes of the first quarter, and they converted points on it. So that's ideal. That's exactly what you want to have happen. We talked a little bit about that outstanding Poplarville Hornet, Ross Barnett. Like I said, winning the state rodeo championship in the 8th grade. I remember I met him, and in the 8th grade, he about shook my hand off. It was one of the hardest handshakes I'd ever felt, and the kid was in the 8th grade. So you can imagine bull riding and roping and all those sorts of things. You know he's going to be tough, and he's made some big tackles tonight. 24 seconds left to go. Sumrall has to get it into the end zone. They can't get a first down.
Well, they have it second down. Shouldn't this be third down? Or is some
No,
time back
because
on the clock?
they'd get the down over again as if the play never happened.
Okay.
So they do get the down over again. We'll see if the last thing Sumrall wants to do is turn it over on an ill-advised pass. You'd think they're in field goal range anyway. And that might be the strategy here. Obviously, if you can't get it into the end zone, at least work it a little bit closer and maybe to the middle of the field so that Bryson Smith could get a field goal attempt away. 24 seconds left. Jackson on the snap. Wants to throw. Kind of dead in his tracks. Now spins, and Jackson goes down at the 20-yard line. And John Failer got popped in the mouth, it looked like, by one of the Hornets. 14 seconds left to go.
I think Sumrall called timeout.
Well, this has got to be it. Yeah, and officially on the scoreboard now, no more timeouts for either team. So it's only third down, but they could kick it here. They want to get some kind of points. It would be a 37-yard kick. Unless Sumrall decides to go to the air. The problem if they go to the air is if they complete it.
They need to be out of bounds quickly.
And the field goal unit would be ready to come on. But even then, only 14 seconds left. I think you're playing with fire here. So we'll see how Shannon White decides to play it. The Grand Bank halftime show coming up. We'll be talking with Pearl River Community College President Dr. Adam Breerwood. See, you got when they get all them academic degrees, you have to make sure that you
call him doctor.
Yeah, doctor, of course. So Sumrall talking this one over. And look, I'm glad to do it because I don't want to spend that much time in school. And I don't want to be that far in debt once I get out of school. So here we go. The Bobcats look like they're going to run a play. We'll see. Lawson Graves in there on the left end. Jackson puts Barrett in motion. Jackson rolls to his right. And he gets taken out of bounds and loses yardage on the play. Now you almost are out of field goal range. I think the idea was the same play that they scored the touchdown on.
But they weren't full that time.
They were going to try to get Zane Berry free. And he didn't get free. Tina is watching the webcast in Dilley, Texas. And she's a big fan of the Quack Attack. If she's in Dilley, Texas, I guess the twin city would be Dilly Dilly. All right? So here we go. Fourth down. And a new quarterback. John Ford is in there. So Dennis Jackson might go in as a receiver.
Delay a game.
It is a delay on Sumrall. Boy, the Bobcats have gotten in their own way on this series. They had a 1st and goal and have been stuck in reverse. And unless something somewhat miraculous happens here, will not get any points out of this drive. The good news is they will get the football to begin the second half. Ford is in at quarterback.
I'll try to pull a Aaron Rodgers here.
And let Dennis Jackson run under it. Let's see. Ford, back to throw. Does. Cranks it up. Gets it down the field, and this pass is intercepted by Kanan Ray. Kanan Ray looking for some blockers, but he gets stuck by Tyreek Preston at the 30, and that is the end of the first half. At the end of 2 quarters, Poplarville leads Sumrall 14-7, so the Bobcats don't get any points out of that last drive. But again, they will get the football to begin the second half. But that was a good first half of play. Poplarville has annihilated just about everybody that they've played so far. Sumrall hanging tough, and again gets the football to begin the second half. Time for our halftime show, brought to you by Grand Bank. Are you ready to buy or build your dream home? Well, Grand Bank has the perfect loan for you. From hassle-free construction financing to ideal programs for first-time home buyers, Grand Bank has become the preferred choice for home loan shoppers in the Pine Belt wanting low rates and quality customer service they can count on. Find out for yourself. Stop by Grand Bank in Hattiesburg and Petal, or you can call them at 601-264-1467. That's 264-1467. Grand Bank is your hometown bank, locally owned and operated, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender. They are hanging from the rafters tonight in Poplarville, as when the schedules come out, you would expect that this would happen. With Poplarville and Sumrall, 2 football programs that are definitely on the rise, and playing a good game tonight, 14-7 at half. The Hornets lead it. Bobcats will get the football, as we mentioned, to begin the second half of play. Joining us here tonight on the Grand Bank Halftime Show is the president of Pearl River Community College, Dr. Adam Breerwood. We welcome you. Good to have you here.
Kelly, my friend, it's great to see you. It's great to be here.
I don't think you look very good in green, though. But your son made a great play there on one of the Sumrall Bobcats there at the end. And all due respect, you were standing right next to me, and I said, I don't know if he got him with a horse collar or a face mask, but that flag came down right about that time, so you will forgive me.
Absolutely.
You know for that. But as you look at statistics, Dr. Breerwood, all the numbers of the JUCOs across the state, very few of them are growing at the pace that Pearl River is. Is there anything that you and your staff can, well, first of all, tell us how things have gone, and is there anything that you can pinpoint as to why students are flocking to all 3 of your campuses?
Well, things are going great, Kelly. Over the last several years, we've had really a spike in enrollment, despite what all the numbers say we should be having. Everybody around the state's going down, but Pearl River continues to increase their enrollment each and every year. I give a lot of credit to our faculty and staff. They've done an outstanding job. We're going to take a holistic approach to education, and so I think that we're providing services not only inside of the classroom, but really focusing on our services outside of the classroom, which is allowing our students to have better success rates, and in turn they're staying and they're not leaving. And I think that word's getting out that we care about our students in and out of the classroom, and that's certainly given us what I believe is really been great numbers in terms of enrollment.
As you and other presidents meet with business leaders across the state of Mississippi, what are they telling you they need from graduates these days?
Well, for the governor on down, it's really about workforce development, trying to get people into, we have a job skills gap right now in the state of Mississippi. There's a lot of people who, are either underqualified or, are just looking to do something that maybe is not out there right now. And I can tell you there are jobs that are available. And it's a lot of these 2-year programs. Of course, the majority of our students are transfer students that transfer to the university. But really our biggest growth is in our career tech world, where industry is lining up day after day to try to hire our graduates. So we're going to continue to focus on that area and try to continue to expand as many programs as possible.
Now, you've got the campus in Hattiesburg, and you've got a Gulf Coast area as well. How are you able to keep everything, the 3 balls being juggled there at once?
Well, that's a great description of it, because that's exactly what it is. We have had a growth in Hattiesburg. We're going to continue to expand that campus. We've got a lot of building projects going on there now. Poplarville's growing. We had 508 students on our waiting list for college housing. 508. Now, if you can put your mind around that, that's 508 students that wanted to come and live on our campus and be a part of what we're trying to do, and unfortunately we didn't have the beds. So we're going to build 2 brand new dorms. That's not out, yet officially.
It is now.
But it is now. But that's what we're working towards, and we're hoping next month we can get final approval from some of the financing companies that we're talking to get that done for our students. And I tell you, down in Hancock County, that BP Restore money, we've been pushing and fighting for it, and we've been very blessed that Governor Bryan has felt the need and stood behind us in that project. And we're hoping for another big announcement November 13th.
Dr. Adam Breerwood is our guest, the president of Pearl River Community College, the Poplarville campus, just a stone's throw behind us here. By the way, the Wildcats will be on the road tomorrow at Southwest. That's a 5 o'clock game that you'll be able to watch on prccmedia.com. But Adam, your rise to the presidency kind of unique in the sense that you actually went the athletic route. A lot of presidents, the institutions across the country, were academic from day one and worked their way up the academic ladder. But you did both. You went the athletic route, also went the academic route. So you're, if you will, a little bit more sensitive to the athletic side of what the overall education is all about.
Well, sure. I understand as a first-generation college student, we have to find opportunities for our students to come to college, and it's a life-changing opportunity for them. And that's exactly what it did for me. I was the first one in my family to go to college, and had an opportunity to go to Pearl River and play baseball. And when I got there, I said, I think I can do this. And the faculty and staff gave me an opportunity and gave me the confidence that I needed to move forward. So really, that's my foundation, and that's why I love what I do, and I want to get up every day and help change the lives of those we serve.
But it seems like there has always been the ongoing tussle between the academia, and the athletic side of the teachers have always been saying, oh, athletics aren't important, and the athletic side has been saying, we're making money, these big institutions, the SEC schools, we're bringing all these millions of dollars to campus. So how you've seen both sides of that coin?
Well, certainly I have. I have several different perspectives. It's funny you say I started in the athletic side. The truth is when you're the assistant baseball coach at a community college in Poplarville, you really are. You start in maintenance. It's where I began cutting grass and having an opportunity to go spend my afternoons on the baseball field as the assistant coach. But the truth is we can't work in silos. Everybody has a job to do. There's a lot of communication. One of the first things I did when I became president, I brought everybody together in our professional development from, all areas of our campus, our maintenance crew, our cafeteria people, and said everybody has a job to do. And, when that student's standing there in front of you, it's the most important job at the college. And so I think that they're understanding that we can really provide a lot of different services through a lot of different venues. There's a lot of people walking on our campus that would have never, ever chose to come to Pearl River if it wasn't for athletics, or if it's not for the band. And some people are there just simply to get a good educational foundation and transfer. So, I embrace the diversity. And wherever they're trying to get, we want to help them get there.
Some of this, take us through some of the thought processes when it came to adding volleyball. Pearl River, in case you haven't heard, Pearl River is the first institution in the MACJC to institute volleyball as a scholarship sport. And I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, that'll begin next year.
That's correct.
So take us through that when budgets are so tight and so on and so forth, when they're tightening belts, volleyball comes to Pearl River.
Well, sure. It's outstanding students. It's really growing in our district. We want to be considered the hometown college, and so we have to listen to our community. And I tell you, we're real excited about volleyball. It's a no-brainer. We have a facility there. We have potential coaches in the area. We have outstanding players, and so. I'm really looking forward to it. I think the more times you can provide an opportunity and something for those students to connect with while they're associated with your college. Pearl River would have never meant as much to me if I didn't have an opportunity to be part of a baseball program there, an opportunity to really understand everything that the college has to offer. So let's create some experiences. Let's create some memories. And, let's start volleyball and see who we can get here to stay in our community and be part of the Wildcat family.
Do you anticipate that the volleyball domino that has fallen at Pearl River is just the first one in the MACJAC now, and that other schools will follow suit?
I really do. I think people are going to see how we handle it, and I don't mind being the guinea pig for this. We're able to compete with a lot of schools in Alabama right now, but there's already conversations that are starting to begin around the state. I think the other presidents see the importance of the opportunity.
So when you took over the presidency, take it, whatever you're comfortable in sharing, some of the bullet points and your checklist is some of the things you wanted to try to tackle immediately.
Well, I wanted to change the culture of our campus. I wanted our students to feel like they had a part of building our tradition and building our legacy. I wanted our faculty to know they're valued. I wanted every employee to just become part of something bigger. I'm not asking these people to work 20 hours a day, but I am asking them to give me 8 or 9 a day and give me everything that they have, and they've done that. They have responded. You mentioned the enrollment increase, and the first thing we did is we said, obviously an enrollment increase leads to a revenue increase, and we gave it right back to them. We gave all of our employees a 4% pay raise. We took the people that are cleaning our buildings from minimum wage to $10 an hour. I want this to be something that they're proud of, and a pat on the back is always nice, but when you can help people financially and better serve their families, means a lot to them.
You and your colleagues, as we continue our discussion with Dr. Adam Brewer of Pearl River Community College, you and your colleagues, the other presidents across the state, how would you describe the relationship that you all have with the state legislature?
I think it's good. Well, we're blessed. I feel like, our representatives here have really gone to bat and understand the importance of it. I hear a lot about the legislature and the challenges that they have, but the community college system really is a great return on investment. But the way I look at it, and maybe it's my coaching mentality, that's no excuse for us. If funding's down, what are we going to do about it? I mean, we're providing jobs that build the tax base, that build our local community. So, maybe we need to look at how we're doing things different. We need to listen. Times are tough. I mean, they just can't print money. And so, how do we help assist this state in coming back stronger? So, we take the challenge personal. Yeah, sure, funding has been down. But that's no excuse why we can't succeed.
Do you worry, though, at some of the institutions in the MACJC where the enrollment is down, that the logical next step for the legislature would be, well, if enrollment is down at school A, B, or C, maybe there isn't the need there? And do you ever fear that, maybe somewhere down the road that there might be a school here, a school there that would be forced to be closed or consumed by another JUCO?
Sure. I think that is concern, but I think one of the best things about the community college is that we're accessible. A lot of our students drive daily. It's tough for them to commute 50 miles both ways. I mean, a lot of, that's the thing. The average age of our students is 24, 25 years old. A lot of them have children. They have a part-time job, and they're living locally. So if you take that away, then they're just not going to have the opportunity for higher education. That would be devastating.
And I think one of the things that kind of gets swept under the rug, it certainly doesn't for me because I'm certainly cost conscious, is exactly that. The reasonable cost of an education at the junior college level as opposed to these 4-year money guzzlers.
Well, if you just, and I've got a lot of friends in IHLs and universities, and certainly this is no knock against them, but if you want to get 2 years of a solid education that's going to transfer directly into a university, why not come do it for $1,600 a semester as opposed to thousands of dollars a semester? We have so many scholarship opportunities that we offer. We have, we're out there pushing our counties to help with tuition assistance programs. The financial barriers that a lot of our students face are their biggest challenge. So if we can see it as an investment and continue to get help from our alumni and other people that feel our mission and see what we're trying to do, I really and truly believe that we'll continue to get stronger. But certainly the financial challenges are tough. So it just doesn't make sense. People are graduating with $50,000 in student loans. Why not get 95% of your college paid for your first 2 years?
Makes sense to me. And final question before we let you go, Dr. Adam Brewer, with your son Blaze, we mentioned a player here in the secondary for Poplarville, also getting noticed on the baseball field where he's a terrific talent. Do you guys ever get to talk sports shop a little bit? And how now, not as an ex-jock, not as a university president, but as a dad, how do you juggle that?
I'll tell you, that's the biggest blessing in the world, Kelly, is having an opportunity to be dad to Lexi, my daughter, who's a freshman at Pearl River, and Blaze, my son, who's a junior here. He's my best friend too, and it's kind of weird as your relationship changes, and I am. I'm blessed to have good children, a beautiful wife, and the girl I met right there on campus at Pearl River. And
you know what? I think I've talked to her, Adam. I think she likes you.
Yeah. Well, we've been together a long time, and I'm just blessed. But yeah, absolutely. Just like you with your son. I mean, it's the relationship changes daily, and it's fun to watch him grow into a man. And he's making some good decisions. I have to keep my eyes on him. He may have a little Adam Brewer in him, but I love him to death.
Well, this is a job that you really have been groomed for. If you ask anybody that knows anything about the situation at Pearl River, that you were the guy next in line. And so far, so very, very good. And thank you for taking your time to join us tonight here at Poplarville, where the Hornets lead the Bobcats 14-7. The Hornet Band is performing. Sumrall will get the football to begin the second half. We're gonna go dead here, so to speak, on the microphones for just a minute or two, and then come back with our second half action in just a moment. You are watching Sumrall Bobcat football on YouTube. Obtaining a home loan is easier from your hometown bank, Grand Bank. Grand Bank has become the preferred choice for home buyers in the Pine Belt wanting low interest rates and hometown service they can count on. Whether you're looking for your first home, your next home, or refinancing your current home, Grand Bank will make it easy. They're locally owned and their home is right here and want to help you with yours. Give Grand Bank a call at 601-264-1467. That's 601-264-1467. Grand Bank is your hometown lender, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender. Let's take a look at some of our texts from our Sumrall roll call. People checking in from all across the country. Andrews, Texas, checking in tonight, saying that they think we are boss, rocket. We think that might be to Carson Duck. That might be from the Quack Attack. Deb checked in and said that she's in that 432 area code and a big fan of Carson Duck. Great to hear from Andrews, Texas, which is just north of Midland, Odessa in the Permian Basin area of West Texas. In Sumrall, the Deans and the Bennetts are watching in Sumrall. Go Bobcats. And shout out from the Birds in Hattiesburg to the Quack Attack. So he's got quite a
big fan base.
Yeah, following him tonight. Let's, while we get a chance, check the Primerica Financial Services scoreboard. Lumberton leading Sacred Heart at halftime, 37-0. Lumberton 37, Sacred Heart nothing. We've not gotten any score yet out of Greene County and Forest County. That game in Brooklyn. Oak Grove leading Terry in the second quarter, 21-0. Oak Grove will secure a very solid playoff spot with a win tonight at Terry. And the one that Sumrall fans are watching very closely in Monticello tonight, Lawrence County 21, Purvis 21. That is a halftime score. And for the benefit of Sumrall, you really want Purvis to win that game. All of our scores brought to you by our friends at Primerica Financial Services. Second half is underway. Sumrall on the return.
Gone.
Big hole up the middle for Tyler Daniels. Streaking down that far side and is knocked out of bounds by the kicker. No flags on the play. A big return for Daniels, the freshman. And Sumrall in business in great field position here to begin the second half. But now the Bobcats' challenge is to convert it into points.
Well, that's one way to come out of half.
But that last series of the first half where Sumrall had a first and goal and wound up going backwards and getting no points out of it. We'll see what happens here as they have a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line of the Hornets. Just underway here in the second half. Dennis Jackson at quarterback with Tyreek Preston in the backfield. And the chain gang, looks like there was a late penalty against Sumrall, but I haven't seen any indication at all. Illegal block in the back.
I don't know what that signal is. He put both hands behind his back. That's the only thing I saw. I'm not sure what that is.
So Sumrall has it now at the 47. Still a short field. But again, it's all about converting it into points. You see the scoreboard, 14-7. Poplarville leads it. Dennis Jackson on the handoff to Tyreek Preston, who was really minimized in the first half, but he is able to get over right tackle for a couple of yards. Making the tackle Chandler Norris, that big junior defensive tackle, the 6'2", 275-pounder. Norris easy to pick out. He's the biggest guy on the defensive line wearing pink socks, of course, signifying an awareness to the fight against breast cancer in the month of October every year. 2nd down and 8 after the gain of 2. 11 minutes, 16 seconds left to go in the ball game. Sumrall trailing by a touchdown. Jackson to Cocroft. Cocroft gets the run, and he is escorted out of bounds and almost knocked into the fence over there. And the Sumrall fans over there, and I like to see that flag too for some unnecessary roughness after the play. It doesn't come out. and they give him a gain of a yard. So it'll be third down. Third down and about 7 coming up. They just have not been able to consistently get yardage on the ground. Dennis Jackson, when he has threatened to throw the ball, that's when some things have opened up. Cronin to the near side of the field along with Barrett on third down and 7. Dennis Jackson rolls to his right, wants to throw, does. Had Barrett open at the 35-yard line, but overthrew him just slightly. Barrett had to go up the ladder and just had to go a little bit too far. Incomplete, and the punting unit will be dispatched for Sumrall. With 10:54 left to go in the third quarter, Payne Phillips booted away. Poplarville has brought some pressure tonight, and Phillips has tried to work getting those punts aloft a little bit better than he has in weeks past. The Hornets back at about the 10-yard line to return it. But it's kind of a pooch kick that Phillips will kick down at about the 10-yard line and get out of bounds. Great kick by Phillips. It looks like it crossed the line at about the 8-yard line.
Great punt.
Second half. Dandy Dan's Chevron in Sumrall is the go-to one-stop shop in Sumrall. Open at 6 a.m. Whether you need a quick soft drink or maybe the different types of fuel, Dandy Dan's, like the Bobcat defense, won't let you down. Dandy Dan's Chevron in Sumrall is proud to be the sponsor of the offensive player of the game. Dandy Dan's Chevron in Sumrall on Highway 42, right across from the middle school, open at 6 a.m. First and 10 for the Hornets. On the give. The right side, this wing T is a misdirection type running offense. When if you didn't know any better, you would think that Antonio Barnes, the quarterback, was running that ball. But a gain of about 4 over the right side. The Hornets leading 14-7 will look to burn clock and chew up some yards. Second down and 5. Barnes under center this time. They try the right side again. Nigel Coleman over there on the stop for the Hornets. Ethan Taylor on the carry got ahead for about a gain of 3. It'll bring up a third down and short for Poplarville, where they like to bring the sting. Poplarville has been the king of the hill in this Region 7-4A for the past 3 seasons. But as Sumrall has filled in the talent pool in some of the different classes, Sumrall has gotten better. Lawrence County has had a terrific year, although battling Purvis tonight in a 21-21 game at half over in Monticello. Third down and short, about 1.5 yards. On the delay, they try the right side again, and stopped for no gain is Ethan Taylor. Actually, he might have lost a yard. Nice job on the left side of the defensive line. Cole Daniels over there. Got some fans in Andrews, Texas tonight. Were you impressed, Jeremy, that I knew all that much about Andrews?
Yeah.
There's the kick. Dennis Jackson was back there to retrieve it. It was touched by Sumrall. Cocroft turned around and touched it, and it got away from him, and it was covered up by Ethan Spears of Poplarville. Another unforced error by Sumrall, and Poplarville has the football. Oh, boy. Crucial mistake. I'm not sure if Cocroft even knew that the football was there.
I don't think he did.
But when he turned around, he just happened to run right into the ball. Spears was right there waiting on him to touch it. He did, and Spears fell on top of it. So when Sumrall would have had a short field, the defense is back on. First and 10. Handoff left side. Sones, the ball carrier, ahead for a gain of about 3 or 4. Solly Landrum having another solid game. Jason and Terry have texted in from the 337 area code in Reeves, Louisiana.
I'll tell you what, if Carson Duck had all his fans come to a home game, we'd have to double the size of the stadium.
Yeah, a lot of people have texted in a shout out to the Quack Attack tonight, haven't they? Second down. Call it 6. Under center. Handoff right side. Knight, the ball carrier, but he's stacked up again by 3 or 4 Bobcats. Cole Daniels eventually took him down, but was stood up initially. Boy, Nigel Coleman will really knock you in the middle of next week. Coleman originally made the hit, and then Daniels helped finish him off. 3rd and 4 after the short gain. Clock moving with 7:25 left to go here in the third quarter. Poplarville doing this series what it did in the first series of the first quarter. Chew a lot of clock, gain some yards. Over left tackle, first down. That is a good carry as they just bulldoze their way forward. That is Sones again. James Ford tried to bring him down before the first down, but could not do so, and that'll move the chains. So the Hornets, who are working quickly here, have the football at the 40-yard line. They don't waste a lot of time. The ball carrier this time is Taylor, and he gets about 5 before he's thwarted. So again, their goal is just to chew up as much clock as possible and maybe make it a 2-score game. But in fairness, the Bobcats in the last couple of series have been their own worst enemies with some unforced errors. Second down and 6 after the pickup of 4. Wants to throw it this time. Wide open down toward the end zone, but batted away by Cocroft. Kanan Ray was the intended receiver, but Cocroft was able to catch up with the floater in time to bat it away.
It helped that it was underthrown, so it did help Bobcat defense there.
Stops the clock with 6:28 left to go. The Hattiesburg Clinic Children's Clinic postgame show coming up at the end of this contest. And the Dandy Dan's Chevron in Bellevue and Sumrall offensive and defensive players of the game also to be named. Third down and long. They try to run it to this side, and here comes a face mask call. Kason Sones was dropped by Cocroft at the 30, but immediately the flags flew on the face mask call, and this is a 15-yarder against Sumrall. It was a first down anyway, but this will just march the Hornets a little bit deeper into Bobcat territory. And one of the things you have to start worrying about is fatigue along the defensive front of the Rawcats with 6:21 left to go here in the third. Sumrall trailing Poplarville 14-7. Southern Miss playing at North Texas tomorrow. That's a 2:30 start on ESPN 3, I believe. That game in Denton, Texas. 1st and 10 for the Hornets. Thought they moved a little bit early. Late on the handoff down to the 15-yard line. Duck on the tackle of Sones to the 15. Gain of about 2.
Looks like some confusion in the backfield there.
Yeah, I'm not sure they knew exactly who it was going to get handed to. So 2nd down and 8. This would be a huge moral victory, if nothing else, if Sumrall could prevent the Hornets from getting any points here on this drive. 2nd down. Knight, the ball carrier, he is hit by Nigel Coleman and knocked backwards. He maybe got a yard or 2 forward progress, but Nigel Coleman hammered him from the 830 area code. They are watching us on the web stream tonight. Lots of you logged on to our HD feed on YouTube. Glad to have you with us, and we appreciate and respect that we are your eyes and ears, although you can certainly see. 3rd down. Big play coming up on 3rd down. Rolls to his right. Wants to throw, can't find anybody open. Gets away from some of the Bobcats. Penalty markers come down, and into the end zone is Antonio Barnes. But hold your tickets here, race fans. This is a block in the back on Poplarville. So this one is coming back. The Bobcats get a break. With 4:42 left to go in the third quarter, Poplarville nursing a 14-7 lead over the Rawcats here in this key District 7-4A matchup. We'll continue to watch the Primerica Financial Services scoreboard on that Lawrence County Purvis game where they were 21-0 or 21-21 at half. So let's reset the table for you here after that spot foul penalty. The football is on the 22-yard line. It is third down and about 16 with 4:33 left to go. This time Barnes will go out of the shotgun. And they hand it off. And another penalty marker comes down. Ethan Taylor, the junior running back, got over right tackle to pick up about 5, but that won't be near what they needed. And if this goes against the Hornets, and it looks like it's going to, a chop block against the Hornets. So now the Hornets are getting in their own way.
Yeah, before really the first half, there was only 1 or maybe 2 penalties.
This series began when the Bobcats muffed a punt. But the defense now for Sumrall has been on the field a long time. But this one marching them way back. It is third down and another area code. Uncle Ernie finally has checked in. We wanted to know where Uncle Ernie was from the 601. He wants Tweeter, who we know is Hayden Barrett, to make a play, and that's all Hayden does is make plays. Third down and incalculable. So we'll see if they just try to work it into field goal range. Bobcats cannot get lazy here. They've got him on the ropes. Quarterback keeper running forward, and it is Cockcroft that pulls him down at about the 28-yard line. Nigel Coleman there was also there to make sure. So fourth down now, still a long way to go, but still in no man's land where a punt doesn't necessarily net you much and too long for a field goal. So going forward on fourth down, they're almost acknowledging that they're not going to get it, but able to run some clock with 3:24 left to go here in the third. On fourth down, he wants to throw. Does. Man is open and is caught, but then hit immediately. Good stick on the play. Is that Coleman over there? Catch was made by Ethan Taylor.
Looked like maybe Cockcroft.
Well, nonetheless, the Bobcats have it at their own 18-yard line and indeed kept the Hornets out of the end zone, although they got some help from the Hornets themselves. 3:14 left to go in the third. Just a one-score game here, 14-7. Really, would you have thought, Jeremy, going into this one, that these two high-flying teams would be sitting here at 14-7 in the third?
Not really.
But that's where we are. Dennis Jackson, the give and go to Tyreek Preston, but that hole closes up quickly, and the Cowboy wraps him up. Ross Barnett. Ross Barnett, who was, by the way, named after the former governor of the state of Mississippi. He was there on the play. Another shout out to the Quack Attack from Bayside, Texas. Second down and 8. Jackson to Cockcroft. Cockcroft over the left end is able to get free for about 2 or 3 before he was wrapped up. Getting a lead block out there from Christian Clinton. So a third down and about 4 upcoming as we work toward 2 minutes left to go here in the third quarter.
I don't think we've seen a quarterback draw or anything second half.
They have been keying on Dennis Jackson, and they got burned by Zane Berry once for the touchdown, so you know that they'll shadow him pretty well as well. Jackson with Cockcroft, fakes the handoff. Now Jackson will try to run it himself. Gets to the outside, to the stakes, and out of bounds.
See where they mark it. It's going to be close.
But Dennis was looking right at the peg when he headed to the sideline. So if he got out.
Oh, they're marking about 2 yards short.
Boy, they sure are. I think even Dennis is a little bit surprised about that spot.
He's running out of bounds. He was holding the ball out, trying to get some more yardage.
Well, they'll kick it away. With a 1:52 left to go. Payne Phillips back at about the 13. Low snap, but he's able to pull it up and really no pressure. A low liner is fielded at about the 40 by Kanan Ray. Kanan Ray trying to get out to this side, and he is busted out of bounds by Varnado, and there comes another flag. Varnado absolutely smoked Kanan Ray after he was out of bounds. And you probably saw it. You got a bird's eye view right there on the near sideline. Unfortunately, we have to call it like we see it, and Varnado did hit him late. So that penalty, there are 2 flags on the field. One is certainly going against Sumrall, but the other one is probably a block in the back or some type of illegal block on the return team, which would be the Hornets. 1:39 left to go in quarter number 3. The referees talking this one over. Still to come, the Dandy Dans, Chevron, and Sumrall and Bellevue offensive and defensive players of the game, and the Hattiesburg Clinic Children's Clinic post-game show.
Now, won't they offset if they're on 2 different teams?
You know, I would think so, but high school rules are a little bit different than, you know, we're so used to watching college and the pros, and we think that all of those sets of rules transcend, but they don't necessarily. Because like holding at the pros is marked off from the line of scrimmage, but holding in high school is from where it happened. So it actually winds up being usually a 13 or 14-yard penalty.
And that's like pass interference. High school, if you get burned by a guy, the coaches tell you to take him down, take the 15 yards instead of 6.
Whereas in the pros, it's where it happened. So the Zebras sorting this one out. Let's check while we get a chance the Primerica Financial Services scoreboard. Lumberton all over Sacred Heart, 44-0. Now that's in the 3rd quarter at Lumberton. That is a district game for those 2 teams. Oak Grove 21, Terry 0 in 6A play. And still reporting at halftime, Purvis and Lawrence County 21 all. Again, we want, if you're a Sumrall fan, well, you should anyway because they're a Lamar County team, but you want Purvis to win that game so that Sumrall would get some ground on Lawrence County.
You ever heard of the Battle of 589?
I have. I know, but Sumrall won that one handily. A personal foul on Sumrall. So I think what they're going to do is just essentially they're going to wipe them out, but they're going to mark one back 15 yards and then move it back up 15 yards. So that's exactly what happens. So the Hornets will have it at their own 41-yard line with 1:39 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Sumrall is just a touchdown behind. So one big play away. And the defense for the Bobcats tonight has been up to the task. Nobody has kept Poplarville out of the end zone tonight like Sumrall has. Poplarville's been putting up 50 and 60 points a game. The only loss the Hornets have earlier this year was to Picayune, which is a 5A powerhouse. So here we go. Waiting to get the chain gang in place along the far sidelines. A 1st and 10 coming up. Antonio Barnes, the quarterback, will go out of the shotgun formation. And Barnes will hand it off as they come to this side. It's Ethan Taylor on the carry. Cocroft stopped him at about the 49-yard line, a pickup of 7. 2nd down and 3 as we work our way toward a minute left to go here in the third quarter. Purvis leading Sumrall 14. Check that. Poplarville leading Sumrall 14-7. 2nd down play coming up. This defense has been on the field a long time tonight, so they'll have to reach down and come up with some more on 2nd. Exact same play, same side of the field. This time it's Ahmad Bolton. The first carry of the night for Bolton, and that's a chain mover as he got down to the 44-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Hornets, working west to east or right to left as the way the field is laid out here in Poplarville. Right off the Highway 26 on your way into Poplarville as you're coming off of the I-59. 37 seconds left to go. Barnes hands it off, and getting stuck in the backfield is Ethan Taylor. There is nowhere to go as Nick Eccles planted him for a loss.
Penalty flag.
Cocroft was also there. A chop block on Poplarville. So you remember last series, the Hornets started to work their way downfield and then
Penalty.
riddled by penalties. And here they've got it stuck in reverse again. All the way back to the 40-yard line. So just like last series now, 1st and forever. Johnny Mathis saying about the 12th of never. Well, this is the 1st and forever for the Hornets, leading this one 14-7. Only 2 games left in the regular season for each of these teams. So a win on that side of the ledger, big. Handoff again. Duck on the stop, getting some help on the play there from James Ford.
That'll take us to the 4th.
As they tackle Ahmad Bolton for a minimal gain. And that is the end of the third quarter here in Poplarville. It's the Hornets 14, the Bobcats 7. No scoring at all in the third quarter, as it turns out. Again, looking at the standings, Poplarville and Lawrence County going into tonight were 2-0 in the region, with Sumrall and Greene County 1-1. Purvis and Forest County AHS are 0-2. And if they both lose tonight, they're essentially out of the playoff hunt. So it wouldn't be a matter of whether Sumrall gets in the playoffs. It would just be as what seed. But Purvis can sneak back into the playoff discussion if they were to upset Lawrence County tonight in Monticello. But while we get a chance, we want to thank our friends at Sumrall Lawn Center, State Farm Insurance Agent Stacy Clark Temple for her support of our webcasts. Looking forward to watching Sully play another year, both football and baseball. Dandy Dan's Chevron in Bellevue and Sumrall, Hattiesburg Clinic, Children's Clinic, and of course Primerica Financial Services. 2nd down. A long way to go for the Hornets now as they go east to west. Some misdirection. Handoff to Sones, and he is hit. Nowhere to go as Ashanti Cocroft gets in the backfield along with Nick Eccles and took him to the ground for no gain. A 3rd down coming up. I know one of the modus operandi of the Hornets is to burn a lot of clock, but remember, it's just a 1-score game. So they would need a sustained drive. And 3rd down and about 22 or 23 is not what you want to be looking at normally. Rolling to his right. Barnes wants to throw. He's under pressure, gets away from one man, does throw, and it's caught by Kanan Ray at the 40-yard line. He's still short by about 5 yards. It'll be 4th down and 5 coming up. But man, what a big play by the Hornets. Kanan Ray. Again, he's got it in his blood too. We mentioned his brother Chandler Ray. who was a standout here at Poplarville. His parents are in academia here in the Poplarville area. Blaze Breerwood shuffles the play in from the sidelines. They're going for it on 4th. As the president would say, this would be huge if Sumrall can stop them here, and Poplarville wants to talk it over. The Hornets want to make sure that they've got everybody on board. On this big 4th down play coming up, because if you don't get it, and again, not to overstate the obvious, but then you give Sumrall a shorter field.
All right, here's some big news here. Tornadoes go on a 4th and 5 from the 19. They get a touchdown. They're up 28-1 with 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
28-21, Purvis ahead of Lawrence County. Coach Brad Hankins, in his first year at Purvis, returning home, and admitted that it's been a struggle in his first year with a young team. Starting 7 sophomores on defense. But Purvis is leading Lawrence County in Monticello. That would really throw things for a loop. And if Sumrall can win here, that would throw everything up in the air. 4th down. The Hornets give the ball ahead to Ahmad Bolton, who spins his way inside the 30 and gets a Hornet first down. Bolton had the freshest legs of all the Poplarville runners. And really, you want Purvis to win that game tonight, but essentially Lawrence County would have to finish 1 game behind Purvis, or behind Sumrall rather, because Lawrence County would win the head-to-head tiebreaker with Sumrall. Hand off to the right side, cutting it back into the middle is Ethan Taylor. Taylor rambles his way inside the 25 down to the 21-yard line. Cocroft again on the tackle. Ashanti Cocroft, one of the captains tonight for Sumrall. Checking into the contest now, Nick Eccles. So 2nd down and about 4 after the gain of 6. Clock moving with 9:48 left to go. Handoff right straight up the middle inside the 20 down to the 18-yard line. Very near first down yardage again with Eccles on the stop. Ahmad Bolton with that terrific run. He got the carry that time. And that moves the chains. Now with a newly found pep in their step, the Hornets have it at the 17-yard line of Sumrall. Handoff again to Bolton. Bolton carrying Bobcats with him inside the 5-yard line down to about the 4. And you're starting to see the fatigue of the Sumrall defense now.
First and goal for the Hornets. Ball is marked at the 4-yard line.
First and goal at the 4. The clock continues to move with 9:15 left to go, and what would make it problematic is if the Hornets make it a 2-score game. The way that they chew up the clock offensively would make it troublesome for Sumrall. Handoff to the second man through. It is Bolton, but he doesn't get there. And again, Cocroft on the tackle. Ashanti Cocroft is having the game of his life tonight. He has been all around the football defensively. 2nd down and goal. Poplarville has shown no interest in kicking field goals. They've had several 4th downs that they've gone for tonight, and to credit the Hornets, have converted 75%. 2nd down and goal. Bolton, right side into the end zone for a Hornet touchdown. So the Hornets get inside the Sumrall Lawn Care red zone and take it in. The only points of the second half so far. That touchdown right there as Ethan Spears will try to add another one via the kick. Boy, it's a high kick. He had to come late to kick it, and it's blocked. Duck snagged it out of the air, but it simply goes as no good. So it's 20-7 with 8:21 left to go in the ball game tonight. Homecoming festivities on campus next week, and the weather changed just in time. They continue to watch tonight in Reeves, Louisiana, from the 337 area code. It's one thing about the Bobcat Nation, it really is a nation. They're all over the place. We've even heard from, what was it in Arkansas tonight? P-Valley or?
Something like that.
I think that's the first one from Arkansas we've had this year. A sliver of a moon smiling down on us here in Pop Vegas. Bobcats need a big return here. Kick is away. This will be fielded at the 10-yard line by Tyler Daniels. And Daniels is able to navigate his way up to about the 26, but a couple of penalty markers come down late. And usually on returns, it goes against the return team. Chris Hughes, the senior kicker, actually booted that one away.
They're going the opposite way, so.
It's actually against the Hornets.
Re-kick, maybe?
It looks like the kick team is coming back out. They were over the line. Somebody was over the line, and you can't do that. So Sumrall said, have him kick it again. 8 minutes, 14 seconds left to go. Now a two-score game. 20-7. Lumberton has extended its lead over Sacred Heart 51-0. Boy, poor Sacred Heart was catching Lumberton at a bad time the week after they lost the game. Lumberton losing to Taylorsville, but Taylorsville a very good team. Oak Grove leading Terry 34-0 in the third quarter. Defensive coordinator Larry Dolan has the Warriors playing much better on that side of the ball. And again, in the waning moments of the third quarter, Purvis leading Lawrence County 28-21. There's the kick again, and it's actually a better kick that Dennis Jackson fields at the goal line. Looks for a wedge. Comes to the left side, and he is met at the 23-yard line and dropped. On the tackle there for the Hornets was Zaire Jordan, the senior cornerback. So 20-7. Bobcats needn't take much time in trying to get some points on the board. And the defense would be tested again in this two-score game. Still to come, the Dandy Dans, Chevron, and Sumrall and Bellevue offensive and defensive players of the game. And the Hattiesburg Clinic Children's Clinic post-game show. Dennis Jackson on the handoff to Cocroft. Cocroft finding some room on the far sideline. Tried to cut it back upfield, but his feet kind of slid out from underneath him, but got a significant gain of about 9 on the play. Clock moving with 7:50 left to go in the ball game. Twin receivers to the near side. You would think at some point the Bobcats will have to go to the air. They have been successful tonight really only once, and that was the touchdown to Zane Berry, but only after Dennis Jackson sold it very well like he was going to run. They give it to Cocroft again. They try the same play to the near side, and he can't go anywhere. He is dumped for maybe a loss of a yard on the play. The Hornets are physical, and taking him down there is Zach Owen. the 5'9", 212-pound middle linebacker. 3rd down and a yard as we get inside of 7 minutes left to go now in the contest. Jackson looks to the sideline. Twin receivers each way, but they hand it off up the middle, and I don't know if he got there.
Our far sideline judge got it marked a first down.
Cocroft, the ball carrier, Gabe that time, and does get the football, the nose right across the 35-yard line. That's enough. 6:42, clock moving. Clock really beginning to be a factor now in this 2-score contest. Cocroft to the right of Dennis Jackson. Straight snap to him. Dennis tries to spin forward and runs into one of his own men, but was able to navigate a 3-yard pickup. Out there trying to get a lead block for him was Christian Clinton. But Clinton ran into him. John Failer, the senior center there, has done a terrific job snapping the football tonight. Gets it right back to Jackson. Again, rolls to his right, wants to throw, does, and incomplete. Cronin was the intended receiver down at the 45-yard line. Dennis Jackson had to zing that football. A little bit too hot to handle. Kane and Ray there in defensive coverage for the Hornets. The incompletion stops the clock with 6 minutes left to go. Sumrall trailing Poplarville 20-7. Poplarville about nails down the district championship again this year if they hold on here. 3rd down, 7. Jackson on the direct snap, wants to run to the outside. He's able to escape, cuts it back upfield, gets out of bounds at about the 47, and that's enough for a first down. So the Wildcats, or check that, the Bobcats with a first down. The Hornets tried to keep Dennis Jackson contained to the inside, but he was able to wiggle outside. Boy, Darren Coney off the field, he's a guy to really watch in the future. I think he's going to be a superstar in this league. 1st and 10. Fake it to Zane Berry, and Dennis Jackson up the gut. Dennis Jackson is free. Dennis Jackson is into the end zone for a Bobcat touchdown. It's not over yet. They faked the handoff to Zane Berry, which the skill set that Berry brings to the table, you have to respect his ability. And they keyed on Berry just long enough for Jackson to see that open up the middle. He took off and nobody was going to catch him. Big extra point kick coming up by Bryson Smith. The kick is up, and it's good. With 5:40 left to go in the game. It's Poplarville 20, Sumrall 14. The reason that kick by Bryson Smith was so big is now a touchdown and an extra point wins you the ball game. It doesn't just tie, because the Hornets muffed their last extra point. So Chris Fortenberry has got to rally his defense to come up with one more big stand.
Purvis headed to the 4th quarter up 7 points, 28-21.
Jeremy Thompson monitoring that game from Monticello, where your accommodations last week, I understand, were quite spacious.
Very, very, very spacious.
But maybe 2 cubic feet of space which to work there. But in fairness, a lot of these press boxes were built 30 and 40 years ago when there wasn't such thing as live stream feeds and things like that. So here come the Bobcats.
I was in a very spacious place. I was outside.
Having to look in, right? Big return here for both teams. Bryson Smith will tee it up. 20-14. Can Sumrall find a way? Bryson Smith tried an onside kick, but it didn't even go 4 yards. So Poplarville has a very short field here. He did what you're supposed to do when an onside kick and kind of kick the top of the ball and get it to roll a little bit, but the ball just kind of died. It had some weird English on it. It just kind of died after going up about 4 yards. It's illegal touching is the call on Sumrall because you can't touch it before it gets 10 yards. Uncle Ernie texts in, said that's a raw cat TD.
Roll with 3 L's.
That's okay. That just means it's a big one. Are they going to have Sumrall kick it again?
I don't know if you try the onside now.
Well, but
if you kick it again,
there should be no reason why they would kick it again.
Poplarville
should get the ball where Sumrall touched it.
Because even if you accepted the penalty, would this be yardage?
Oh my gosh, this is.
I'm not complaining.
Really a big break for Sumrall.
I'll take it.
Because that ball should be at the 44-yard line, and Poplarville should have it.
Now you just drill it.
So now the good hands people in for. Now they try it to this side of the field. The ball is covered up at the 45-yard line by Antonio Barnes, the quarterback. You figure of all the guys to be able to hang on to it, it's the quarterback. So much better execution on the onside kick, but a recovery by Poplarville. The Hornets have it at their own 45-yard line with 5:40 left to go in the game. I have never, in my 40 years or whatever, seen where a team has touched the ball and then had to kick it over again. The Hornets should have that choice. So first down for the Hornets. The Bobcats stack in the box, expecting the run. And they get the run, but it comes to this side. Goolsby on the tackle as they wrap up. And we got one of the Bobcats down at about the 44-yard line. It looks like Cocroft. He's holding his left leg. I hope it's just a calf cramp. It was a gain of 5. The clock is stopped because of the injury with 5.5 left to go. It is Ashanti Cocroft who has had a terrific game defensively. And this could just be, as we mentioned, a cramp. Now, it's a wonderfully cool night here in Poplarville. It was a beautiful day throughout the Pine Belt today. Hopefully there's more of that to come. It does look like it is just a cramp. I assure you he'll be out one play, which he has to because the clock stopped, and he'll be right back in there. 2nd down and 5 for the Sumrall defense, trailing by 6 points. Solomon Landrum, Carson Duck, looking at the Sumrall faithful along the far side. Looking for some encouragement here. And the Hornet faithful doing the same thing. This is what you expected in this 7-4A tilt. 2nd down. Barnes surveys the Sumrall defense. Looks at all those white hats on the line. Hand off to the right side. It's open again. It's first down yardage for Ethan Taylor. Taylor dragging Bobcats with him down to the 35-yard line. Now Landrum a little bit slow getting up. Gosh, those guys on defense tonight, they have earned their paychecks. And that first down also will burn some more clock for the Hornets. 4:52 and counting on the first down play. Ray brings it in from the sideline. On first down. There haven't been any turnovers tonight other than that muffed punt by Sumrall. But Poplarville has not turned it over. Need a turnover here. Quarterback keeper. Barnes pushed out at about the 26 or 7-yard line. Looks like he was knocked out there by Darren Coney. Also there To help out was Hayden Pedigo.
Bobcats did turn it over at the end of the second quarter, but it was halftime after it was over.
That's
okay,
right.
I mean, it goes down the
Yeah,
scorebook,
the interception. That's right. A meaningless one, but as you mentioned, it is on the stat sheet. Second down and 3 after the gain of 7. The Bobcats need a stop, and they need it now. Handoff on the dive to Corey Knight, and he is hit and taken backwards. The Hornet faithful want a flag as the Bobcats continued to try to wrestle him to the ground as the whistles blew. 3rd and a yard. Bobcats trying to keep some bodies in there that are ready to go and not too tired. Tate Davis has checked in. 3:20. 3rd down and a yard. Bobcats jumped, but won't cost them any yardage. Handoff right side, 1st down. It's Knight across the 25 to the 24-yard line. That'll move the chains. They get it down to the 24. Again, 3:05, and that clock will start running again. Bobcats need a turnover here. I got an idea. If the quarterback runs it, grab it out of his hands and run the other direction. Right out of the Lawrence County playbook.
Yeah.
1st down. Clock has become an enemy of Sumrall. 2:45 left to go. They try the right side. Cutting it inside is Taylor. Taylor wrestles his way inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line, a gain of 5.
This is where one of those 15-yard penalties would help.
And you have to give credit where credit is due. The Hornets protect the football. They just don't turn it over. They hang on to that ball, and the Bobcats are popping them every which way they can, and that ball just does not come loose.
They're trying to grab it. They're trying every way to get the ball.
2:07 left to go. 2nd down. They try the other side. Sones breaks free, goes into the end zone, and that'll do it. Sones found a big hole up the middle and ran it in. So they want to try to go for 2 points here now to try to recoup the point that they missed via the kick. The same play that they just ran for the touchdown, but Knight is thwarted. It is no good. So the 2-point conversion fails. And look, regardless of how this game comes out, you really have to give the Sumrall defense a lot of credit. Remember, Poplarville has been putting up 50 and 60 points per game. And this defense has remained stalwart and stingy tonight. And anybody that thought maybe Poplarville just outscored people but didn't have a defense, not so. Hornets have got a pretty good defense as well. 26-14 is the score. Sacred Heart has gotten on the scoreboard against Lumberton. It is 51-7. The Panthers over the Crusaders.
That's final, what it says.
It is a final. And in the 4th quarter, Purvis continues to lead Lawrence County 28-21. All of our scores brought to you by our friends at Primerica Financial Services. If Purvis hangs on there.
Here, I got an update for you on Twitter. Just under 4 minutes, they're tied at 28.
Okay, so Lawrence County got back in. If Purvis wins that game, then Poplarville secures the district championship tonight.
Right.
If Poplarville wins, which it looks more and more like the Hornets are going to. Ethan Spears to kick it away. They try an onside kick, but the Bobcats cover it up. I'm not sure I understand that at all. And covering it was Sully Clark, part of the...
I can see a squib kick, but that didn't go hardly 15 yards.
Well, I mean, the only reason you'd kick an onside kick is to try to recover it.
Yeah.
You're up by 2 touchdowns with 1:57 left to go. That strategically, that made no sense whatsoever. But nonetheless, the Bobcats have the football with 1:57 left to go. Our Dandy Dans, Chevron, and Bellevue and Sumrall offensive and defensive players of the game still to come. Hattiesburg Clinic Children's Clinic postgame show. Also, hand off to Coney. Coney around the edge and tries to cut it back up the middle, and his feet slid out from underneath him. Keziah Daniels on the tackle, a gain of 5. Second down and 5 with 1:41 left to go. Even though the Bobcats have their allotment of timeouts, being a 2-score game, I doubt that they would use them unless they can score quickly here. Dennis Jackson on the delay, runs it himself, gets around the end and goes out of bounds. Ross Barnett is there to shadow him, to take him out. 1 minute, 23 seconds. With Jackson running out of bounds, it stops the clock and brings up a 3rd down and 1. Gabe Cocroft has checked into the game. Ashanti remembers a senior. Gabe is just a junior. Cronin and Barrett to the far side. Dennis Jackson rolls to that side. Wants to throw, can't find anybody open. Now comes to the near side. Tries to get away and cannot. He is thrown to the ground by Ross Barnett. With authority. And Sumrall burns a timeout with 1:04 left to go. So the teams will huddle up here. Looks like that game at Lawrence County may go to overtime.
It'll be close.
But again, at last report, Purvis and Lawrence County were tied at 28 late in the 4th quarter.
Okay, so evidently Lawrence County fumbled the ball. They recover it at the 38. Now, it doesn't say on which side of the field, but with 50 seconds left in the game.
So Lawrence County fumbled?
Yes.
Okay. So it doesn't say who recovered?
Tornadoes did.
Oh, they did.
So Purvis looks like has a chance to win here with 50 seconds left in the game.
Okay. Again, pulling for Lamar County native Brad Hankins. This is a 4th down play coming up for the Rawcats. 4th and about 7. They break the huddle and come to this side. Let's see what Shannon White has dialed up here. The Bobcats have battled the Hornets. They know that they have a game. They fake the reverse. Dennis Jackson runs it, gets to the outside, but not enough. They fake the reverse. Jackson kept it. Kyle Chambliss on the tackle. And really all the Hornets have to do would be to take a knee in victory formation. Sumrall has 2 timeouts, but again, under the circumstances, you wouldn't think that they would use them. 26-14. Last year, Poplarville came to Sumrall and wore the Bobcats out. .49 seconds left to go here. And boy, the Bobcats will look forward to getting home after being road weary the last 2 weeks. Now Poplarville calls a timeout. If we get a final on that Lawrence County Purvis game before we sign off here, we will certainly let you know. But it looked like in other Lamar County games that Lumberton has already won big over Sacred Heart, and it looked like Oak Grove was on cruise control up in Terry. And that's a good win for Oak Grove because it was Terry that upset Oak Grove last year at Oak Grove that knocked the Warriors out of the playoff picture. So a good redemptive win for the Warriors up in Jackson. We've had no score at all out of Forest County and Greene County. You would think that Greene County would win that game. But again, we've had absolutely no report. So the Hornets
headed to overtime.
They are in overtime now, Lawrence County and Purvis. Lawrence County and Purvis going to overtime, tied at 28. So the Hornets are lined up with a man deep back there just in case of a fumble or something like that, but they will take a knee with 46 seconds left to go. And the official along the far side is waving his arms to stop the clock. Did the Bobcats use a timeout? There was no indication given.
No.
But the white hat has his piece of paper out as if to write down that Sumrall did call a timeout. So the clock has been reset to 43 seconds. Sumrall has one left. But if Monticello pulls that one out at home, excuse me, if Lawrence County pulls it out at Monticello against Purvis, the Hornets are going to win here, so then Poplarville would lock down the #1 seed in the playoffs. Another knee taken by Antonio Barnes. And it does not look like the Bobcats will use another one. They may have to snap it just one more time, but it would be a third down play. And they start the play clock now, and the game clock is actually 1 minute, or 1 second rather, off. So the Hornets do not even have to snap it one more time. So they will slowly gravitate toward their sidelines. And this will be our final score tonight. Poplarville 26, Sumrall 14. So as you see the two teams shake hands, we want to thank all of our sponsors, including Primerica Financial Services for their sponsorship of the scoreboard, all the scores from around the county and the district. Also, Sumrall Lawn Care sponsoring the Red Zone sponsorship every time a team gets into the Red Zone. Sumrall Lawn Care reminds you about them taking care of your lawn all year round. State Farm Insurance agent Stacy Clark Temple. And the trivia question each week. Grand Bank, sponsors of the halftime show. And time to name the Dandy Dan's, Chevron in Sumrall and Bellevue Defensive Player of the Game. Ashanti Cocroft, who, as we mentioned, was all over the field tonight, actually was taken out because of a cramp, that probably had the best game of his career. Ashanti Cocroft gets the Defensive Player of the Game. And nothing spectacular offensively tonight for Sumrall, although Zane Berry did have a touchdown pass. Dennis Jackson had a good run up the middle. But really, part of the reason that the Bobcats were able to do some things offensively was the consistent snapping of John Failer, the center for Sumrall. He's a senior, and every single snap was right on the money tonight. So John Failer, the offensive player of the game, Ashanti Cocroft, the defensive player of the game for Sumrall, brought to you by Dandy Dan Chevron in Sumrall and Bellevue.
I'll give you this update real quick. Lawrence County won the toss, and they've already scored and had a PAT. It's Purvis's turn to try to, not yet.
So it would appear that Lawrence County will make it pretty difficult for Purvis to pull that one out. But if Purvis can, then Poplarville would lock down the 1 seed. Hattiesburg Clinic Children's Clinic, committed to the care and well-being of your child from birth to adolescence. They sponsor the post-game show. So where do the Raw Cats go from here now? After a 2-game road trip, Sumrall returns home next week for homecoming festivities on campus, and then a visit from the Forest County Aggies. With the results of tonight's game, it looks like Sumrall will be either a 3 or a 4 seed in the playoffs, but that'll become more clear as time goes on the last couple of weeks. Actually, Sumrall completes the season with a 2-game homestand against Forest County next week, and then senior night, the last Friday night of the season, against Greene County. But again, the last report in overtime, Lawrence County and Purvis were tied in overtime, but Lawrence County won the toss and took it in and scored and kicked the extra point. So Purvis has the ball now in overtime as they try to keep that to a second overtime. But Poplarville wins it tonight here in Pop Vegas, 26-14. Sumrall returns home for homecoming festivities, and hopefully we'll get this beautiful weather that started today, and hopefully it'll hang around for a little while, at least for homecoming, and then the last regular season game in 2 weeks against the Greene County Wildcats, both at Lions Field in Sumrall. Poplarville wins it tonight, 26-14 over the Sumrall Bobcats. And with that, Sumrall goes to 1-2 in region play, 7-2 overall, with 2 games left to play. 26-14, Poplarville over Sumrall. For producer Jeremy Thompson, and I guess color analyst tonight too, Jeremy Thompson, I'm Kelly Sanner. Thanks for joining us. You've been watching Sumrall Bobcat Football on our YouTube channel at Sumrall Athletics.